Hi, and welcome to our Glam Sesh. Welcome. My name is Lisa Meadmere, and I'll be walking you through our glamour session, how-tos, tips, and tricks, and then also sharing with you where you can get some deals and all that. So my face is totally clean. We have cleansed it and moisturized it. And so now the first thing that I am going to be doing to prepare my skin for makeup is using a primer. Okay, you guys all know that when you go to paint a wall, you prime it. So this is no different. We are priming our face. It gives something for the makeup to really hold to. It evens out our texture and the surface of our skin so that the makeup does not fall into those pores and fine lines and make them worse. Okay. So now that I have my face prepped, I am going to correct these like serious dark under circles. So literally, I just take, what I love this under eye corrector is because it is peach in tone. So with the peach, it's counteracting the purple. You guys, I'm just gonna use our blending brush here because it feels like a sponge, but it has the flexibility of a brush. And then I will take whatever's on the brush and just kind of pat it on my lid. So that is like magic sauce. This makes me look like I actually, don't have the super dark under eye circles. Part of that's genetic. Okay. And then to me, this is also, if you find any other place that you like to color correct, like I have a couple darker, just previous scars on my skin. So I will color correct those too, because they are kind of in that purple family. And just get that ready to go. And now it is time for foundation. I'm going to use our 3D foundation today. You can use your CC cream if you want a little added SPF and you want a more natural look. This still will be natural. It just gives you a little bit more full coverage. So I just actually put it on this is our flat liquid foundation brush. And so the first thing I do is I literally dot this around. It's called stippling. So I'm spreading the product out before I blend. So sometimes we start blending and we just put a lot of product in one area, so it's never going to blend as seamlessly. I will just blend. And I like to go like every which way because that's going to help it look more natural. If I have a lot of those little baby hairs on right here, I just want to at the end help those hairs lay back flat. Because if I don't, then they are like super noticeable. Okay. So let's see, my light is a little bit more. Felt like I was like yellow there for a second. Okay. Awesome. Now, you can absolutely decide like, okay, I, feel like I want to put some concealer on and brighten up some areas, like any place where there's a darker shadow, like for me, because I have a deeper set eye, I like to do it right there. You can even do a little in the inner corner. I do not recommend when you get past a certain age doing concealer totally underneath your eye. You can do a corrector, but I will show you how doing it just at the corners will help brighten it up. So I'm going to go back in with my blending brush. If you don't like using a brush that's this large, we do have a liquid or a cream color brush, which is really meant for concealer to really get into these tiny areas. I just tend to use this brush, which is fine. You can use your fingers. That's totally normal too, as long as they are clean. Okay, and but you see when I get here, as I blend it, I'm kind of blending it up and it gives myself kind of like this faux lift. Okay, now I like to just lightly dust with the setting powder here, just to make sure my makeup is gonna help set and last all day before I put on my powdered color, like so my cheek color and all that. Now, if you want to leave a more glowing finish, or if you're using some of our cream stick sculpting sticks or cheek colors, then I wouldn't apply powder now. I'd let the liquid and the cream stay together so it's easier to blend. All right. So I like to go in with my brows now because like makes me feel like then I can see what's normal, like how it really should. So quick tip about the brows, always blend the brows, okay? Or brush the brows so that you can actually see that arch. That's gonna get old. Okay, to get that arch now, you're like, oh, even that looks better. Just brushing my brows. I do use both our brow pencil, defining pencil, and our tint, but for two different reasons. So for the brow defining pencil, I am lightly, and this is a dark brunette for me. I can use brunette, I can use dark blonde. They're pretty forgiving. I'm going to just lightly feather on like where individual hairs could possibly grow to give me a little bit more defined brow. But just that, literally putting a couple strokes on, you can definitely see the difference between now I have a lot more defined brow at the beginning of my brow rather than it looking like it does, which is super thin. And I'm going to do the same thing. And now instead of me drawing up because I was at the beginning of my brow, now I'm going to change, and the brow pencil is going to kind of like go in the angle that the brow hair grows. Okay, so let me just finish up this side. Again, I'm just giving a little bit added dimension here. I'm not pushing too hard against the skin because I want it to look more natural. And you can see my eyebrows are not identical. Your eyebrows will never be identical because they're kind of like twins. They're not twins, they're sisters, okay? And that's okay with me. I don't get too, as long as they look like they belong on the same face, they have the same general structure, then yes. Okay, now if I wanted to give more fullness, this is where our brow tint is amazing. You always want to wipe off the excess, and it's like a little mini mascara wand, and this is going to help just coat the hairs, the brow hairs. Well, it helps cover my grays, not going to lie about that, but it helps them look more full. So if you do have like super blonde hairs and it's really hard to see, brow tint's a great option. If you have some sparse areas, like you have a great shape, but you just want it to look more full, brow tint's a great option. Okay, so now that I have my brows on, I mean, I should have taken a before and after and put it back on there because you guys will be like amazed that brows make that much of a difference, but they do. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I like to do my eyeshadow now. And you can guys do this in any way that you want to do it. I'm going to take a little bit of eye primer. And I like to apply the eye primer with that cream color brush that I told you about, because it really helps me make sure I can have a nice layer on, and I'm getting right up close to all of these. So just like our foundation primer is helping our foundation, this eyeshadow is not only going to help the shadow hold better and last throughout the day, but it's actually going to help it be more true to color, because instead of the shadow being like kind of put right on the skin, it's going to allow the shadow to be placed on the primer to give it its most natural and true color. So I'm going to show you, I have one of our Perfectly palettes filled, and this is the color scheme that I'm going to be using today. This is my contour, my highlighter, and my cheek color, and these are my 3 eyeshadows. It doesn't matter what color palette you want to work in. I'm going to give you some tips that will work for everything. So I'm taking our all over color brush, and I love these brushes by Mary Kay because it actually says, see right there, it says all over color brush, all over colors, all over eyeshadow. Kind of helps you know like what this brush is great for. And I am pushing into the shadow to break it up and get the pigment into the brush. And then I tap off the excess. We don't want to blow on our brushes. We learned in COVID, you know, how much bacteria is flying around there. So I'm going to take my all over, which this is a this color sandcastle, but I'm going to take this and kind of just push it all over the lid. Since I have a very short lid, I will go right up kind of where my natural crease is, because I'm going to go above that. So this is just kind of giving me a base to play with. And I'm going to give you guys a trick. If you love your contour shade that you use for your cheeks, and you're like, I think that would be a great crease shadow color, then go ahead and use it. Just make sure that you guys are always clean and you're hygienic with your brushes, okay? All right, so now that we have that there, I'm going to go in with our crease brush, okay? Again, it says eye crease. I'm holding it upside down, but you guys get the. And I'm going to go in with this mahogany color, which is actually pretty dark for me to not normally use, but doing something fun. And so our eye shadow kind of like lives in this space between like the corner of our eye and here. We don't, you know, unless we're doing like a Halloween or specific glam look, we don't really go outside that. So I'm going to kind of follow that line up with the very angled side of this brush. Okay, I'm just kind of following that up, and it's okay if it's not perfect. And then I'm going to follow it over. Okay, so you guys see I'm trying to do this like so you see a V on your face. And then I'm literally going to just kind of take that and drag it in and down on the lid, in and down, to create a little bit more dimension. And it's not going to look perfect right away. It's all okay, because we're going to blend. But this is just kind of getting the color placed where we want it to be placed. Okay, so now I'm going to go with that same mahogany color over to the other side. And I will tell you, even though I've been doing this for a long time, I will never get my eyes to look exactly identical. It's all okay, though. It's all okay. Well, number one, neither my eyes aren't identical, right? We all have slightly different changes in our structure of our face. And you're using one arm totally across your body versus on the same side. So that always gives a little bit of a, you know, different approach to things. A trick, if you guys want to learn how you can do your makeup flat in the mirror with being able to see it without doing like the one eye, you're going to look straight in the mirror, and all you're going to do is tilt your chin up. Now I can look down my nose. Right now I'm looking into the camera, but I can see all of this. Okay, so I'm not doing this, and that way when you open your eyes, you kind of have a better idea of where the shadow is. So this is kind of just, I'm giving myself almost like a little bit of a fake eye lift because I go above the crease because I have a super flat, like you don't see my natural crease when I open my eyes. Most people, you can see the little fold there, but not me. Okay, not me. I am special. All right, so now I'm going to go in with our smudger brush to this Merlot color, which is to die for. And I'm gonna really be almost where the corner of the V was, okay? Where that point of the V was, and I'm gonna just come down to the lash line and just over. So it's kind of like a mini baby V inside here to give a little bit more depth and dimension. And again, I haven't blended it out yet, so it's okay that it looks like a 2-year-old did it. It's totally okay. And I think that's the hardest thing, like when we are learning to do a different makeup look and we're trying new things and we want it to be perfect right away. It just takes practice, guys. All right, and you're gonna see it's all about layering. I'm gonna go in with our super fluffy blending brush, and I'm just doing, I call these little tornadoes. Little tornadoes. I'm softening those harsh edges that kind of were behind or on the where the colors met. Okay. So I still have like that extra little depth and dimension here from that Merlot color, but it doesn't look like a 2-year-old did it. Now, if you love eyeshadow, liner, this is like the perfect time to play around with great liners. I'm going to show you what I like to do is I actually like to use an angle brush, go in with that Merlot color, and I'm going to try and get it. And I use this as my liner. It's a little softer and more gentle, a little more forgiving. You can really get down right next to those roots of your lashes. Plus, it almost gives you like a faux smoky look. So you guys see the difference between lining and not lining. It just adds dimension, but it looks a little bit more natural. As we tend to mature, our lids may not be quite as tight anymore. And so we're like, how do we get that nice crisp line? To me, shadow is the answer because you can put the shadow right as close to the lash line as you want. And the other tip is when you pull your eye to do eyeshadow, you're helping that like like the elasticity go away quicker. So you never want to do that. But that's not where your lid normally lands. Okay. It's not where your lid normally lands. Like that's not when you release it. Now you're going to get a different look. So I always encourage you guys to leave your face kind of natural, like at rest, because that's where most people are going to see it. All right. So now let's put some cheek color on because I kind of feel like I'm a ghost. All right. So let's start with our cheek brush. And I am going to use this Contour Latte. On this brush, it has basically this super short bristles here. It has like a fluffy dome, and then it has an edge, a crisp edge of the really long bristles. So this is kind of like contour, cheek color, highlight. That's how we're going to use it. There is a little divot here if you did want to fan the brush out more with your thumb. Okay, so I'm going to take this part of the brush here and get it right into the contour. Okay, tap off the excess. I am not going to put it here in the hollow between my cheekbone and my jawbone where my teeth reside because I will look like a skeleton. I'm just going to put it on the underside of my actual cheekbone. Okay, so I start here because if I put too much, it is all okay. We can blend into the hairline. And then I'm patting it kind of towards in between my mouth and my nose. Okay. And then when I blend it, you always want to blend slightly up because if you blend down, you're now getting into this area and it's really going to make you look like a skeleton. Okay. Okay. So you guys see it definitely has thinned out my face a little bit, made my cheekbone pop. Again, this is one of those things that's going to be trial and error. The more you do it, for you to feel like, okay, like I have those on exactly the same places as you move across your body. Okay. And then, like I said, I blend up because it kind of helps give yourself a little bit of a faux facelift. Now we're going to go in with that fluffy part right to the cheek color. And I know you're thinking that's kind of bold, Lisa, but I like it. I smile when I put on my cheek color, and this is the apple of your cheek, okay? And I tend to follow the same line. We're going to kind of pop it on here, feather it into the contour as we move the brush in an upward angle, because that's how we're going to keep ourselves. So I kind of pop it on, okay? So it's kind of in the right place here. I pop it on. And then as I blend it, I'm blending it into the contour, but my brush is going still kind of up, not straight back. Okay? A little bit of cheek color, guys, makes all the difference. Makes all the difference. Makes me feel like I got a nice glow of color on there. Now, highlight can scare a lot of people because it's got a little bit of shimmer in it. I'm going to go with that back side, that long part of my brush. If you want to use contour, you don't have to. And it's literally where the sun would normally hit. And I don't go too close to the center of my face because you want to actually use the highlight as something like where you're highlighting just parts of your face and not your whole face. Okay. So let's see, you guys can kind of see in the light how it's really hitting off that contour here. You can actually use some of this contour as your accentuation, maybe right underneath the brow. Again, I have those deep set eyes with a heavy brow, so I tend not to do a lot because I don't want too much light here. It makes it look super puffy. But you can also take highlighter and put it right down the center of your nose. You don't want to go all the way to the tip of your nose. And you can also put it around your lips to make them pop out. So now it is mascara and lip time to finish off the look. I am going to use our Lash Love Fanorama because I'm absolutely obsessed with this. This is one of my favorite mascaras because it has a built-in, like it has two wands built into it. It has like the side that really deposits and then the side that really lengthens. So as you rotate the brush through, and then it has right on the tip, helps you go in and get those ones that you maybe can't normally get, and then really pull out the ones on the end to give yourself a little bit of a fake lash. So I like this because I usually only do one coat of mascara because, I don't know, that's just, unless I'm going for a specific look because we're doing a big date night or I'm getting my pictures taken. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but I did get mascara on my lid. Don't forget. I'll show you how to clean that up. Why we open our mouth? No idea. Just the wonders of being a woman. Oh, epic. Epic, guys. That's what happens when you talk and put mascara on. We're going to let that sit there and do our lips. I know. You're like, Lisa totally messed up her entire look. It's all okay. So I'm going to go right onto my lips. Real life, guys. And I'm going to start with a darker nude liner. And I'm really just going to line my lips here, and then I'll show you how I fill them in. I'm all up in this mirror, and I'm like, I needed some satin lips. That's on the agenda for going to bed. They're looking a little dry. Okay, so I do fill in my lips because number one, as my lipstick wears off, I don't want this ring, but it helps the whole lipstick stick to it better. We do have a lip primer too, which is great. Pretty dark. This is a dark nude lip, which I'm just kind of getting into. Maybe it's because it's the holiday season or whatnot. So I love a dark nude lip with a light lipstick. Boom, because it kind of brightens it's up, but it keeps it in that natural realm. Okay, so let's talk about the fact that I went a little cray-cray with my mascara. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the easy one. When it's above the shadow here, you're just going to go back in with whatever brush you use to apply shadow in that area, and it flakes off once it's dry. This one, you're probably going to be like, this is totally freaking me out. And we'll see what happens, how dry it is. It might be pretty dry. So I will go in with this brush because it has more bristles than my liquid foundation. You can also go in with the smaller one. Let's start that one. And I'm just literally going to kind of flip. Oh, you guys see it's coming off pretty easy. I'm just flaking it off. Yeah, I'm just flaking it off. Let me go to my powder brush and get those little flakes out of the way. And then I see, okay, I have just a little area to touch up. And this is why it's always great to kind of keep your foundation brush around, because you can use it to clean up your eyes. You can use it for one of those things. So boom, crisis averted. If nothing else, I'm sure that's the best thing you guys learned all day. Okay. So I'm going to share with you, if you're interested in finding out how you can get your custom color palette at a deal for you, also learning how you get these brushes at a deal, go ahead and visit our deals page, tiny.cc/spa sesh. And if you had fun watching what I was doing and you're in the place in your life where maybe you're looking for a side hustle with a little extra cash, and how can I take advantage of the holiday selling season? Go ahead and visit our tiny.cc/pinkcash for more info on what we do, and also to earn coupons for the following months. Okay. I hope you guys have a powerful pink on purpose day, and remember that you are worthy of feeling beautiful all of the time.